We're in Lech Lecha, which means there's many ways you can interpret it, but I think the one that makes the most sense to me is the interpretation of "go forth for yourself," meaning Hashem was telling Abraham to go forth for his benefit, for his sake. Hashem wanted to separate Abraham from the paganness around him, where he lived, where he grew up in, and so that's the story of this week's Torah portion. Go forth for yourself, for your own benefit. And it's found in Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 through 17:27. Okay. So if you don't yet know your Aleph Bet, I have a website, and it's right here. It's www.hebrewmime.com, and you can click on the Hebrew Aleph Bet link right here, and it'll be a series of videos that teach you the Aleph Bet. I'll make one of my own one day, but for now, if you don't know your Aleph Bet, you can just view that playlist. Now, Lech Lecha, again, the name of our Torah portion, the root word, actually both words, Lech and Lecha, the root word is halach. This is halach right here, and it means literally, well, this form of halach means he walked, okay, but the infinitive is lechet, which means to walk, and it literally means to walk, meaning by foot. However, it can also it is also used to mean to go or to travel, to depart, to continue, sometimes even to come. So halach. And another word based on the same root is hithalech. Hithalech. That is to walk or to stroll or to lead a life, okay, figuratively. So hithalech et ha'elohim means, so hithalech, this is our word right here, right? This is to walk. Et ha'elohim, this is with God, okay? To walk, or I like to say, so Elohim is God, Ha is this right here, Ha. So instead of saying the God, it's a very strange way to interpret it, I like to say the Almighty. Elohim can also be translated as Almighty. So hitalech et Elohim is a phrase that means to walk with the Almighty, or to walk with God. Here's another word based on that same root, which is halacha. Halacha is Jewish law, rule. It can also encompass Jewish tradition. All these things are referred to as halacha. And more literally, you could translate it as the way we walk with God. Another one is hilchta limoshicha, which means a law for the future, but more literally, a law for the days of Messiah. Okay, for the days of Messiah. So here's the hilchta. Remember the word. This is based on the definition halacha, which could mean Jewish law, right, or Jewish tradition, or the way Jews walk, right? And this part right here, limoshicha, means to the Messiah or for the Messiah, but implying for the days of Messiah. Okay? Hilchta lemoshicha, a law for the future or for the days of the Messiah. And here's another phrase based on our root. This is halach nefesh. Halach nefesh. So this literally is a walk of the soul, or a walk of life, but it means when you use it, it means a mood, a temperament, or a frame of mind. Okay, halach nefesh, a mood, temperament, or a frame of mind. This is halach acharei einav. And this means to walk or to follow. Acharei is after, okay? And then einav is literally his eyes. So this means to follow one's eyes or to follow one's inclination. So whatever you're inclined to do, when you follow it, that's this phrase, halach acharei einav, to follow after your own inclination, after your own eyes. There's a phrase that's repeated throughout the Tanakh that says, it's actually a negative connotation. It talks about how there was no king in those days, and each man walked after what was right according to his own eyes, and this is negative. So in Judaism, we value unity, and so we don't each walk after what we believe, but we have consensus. There's unity. We respect the rulings of the sages, the elders, the Bible, the Torah, etc. And then this word right here is helech, helech. And this is a noun. This means a wanderer or a wayfarer, helech. And this is hachan. Hachan is a walker or a hiker. Actually, excuse me, it should be halechan. Halechan, because of this dagesh right here. And shava. Halechan, a walker or a hiker. Okay, and here is our first verse. This says, Vayomer. Oh, excuse me. I usually do the letters too. So this is, I'll just read it through first. I'll read it through. This is Vayomer Adonai El Avram. Lech Lecha Me'artzecha Umimoladetecha Umibeit Avicha El Haaretz Asher Artzecha. Excuse me, this is Artzecha. Okay, now this is a Vav with a Patach, so this says Va, and this is a Yud, and this is a Cholem over the Aleph, so this is going to say O, so this is Vayo, okay, Vayo. This is a Mem with a Segol, this says E, and this is a Resh, so this is Mer. Vayomer, and this means, and he said, literally, and he said. Now, the Vav means and, okay, but it's also a reversive Vav, so it reverses the tense of this verb. And this Yud right here in the beginning, this Yud implies that this verb is actually future tense, okay, and future tense, or imperfect, more accurately, incomplete action, or imperfect tense, or future tense. You can usually tell when a verb is imperfect tense like this because the conjugation is going to happen in the beginning of the word as opposed to the end, okay? So the conjugation right here is here. It's in the beginning of this verb, okay? It's with the Yud, and this Yud means third person, masculine, okay? So this is he. This Yud represents he. He will walk, okay? So Yomer means he will walk, and Vav, because I said that it's a reverse of Vav and it reverses the tense, instead of he will walk, it becomes he walked, okay? So Vayomer means and he walked. Now, this is a general rule, and it applies most of the time, but once in a while, depending on the context, it doesn't do that. Sometimes the Vav is just a Vav, but here definitely, this is a reverse of Vav, and this is and he walked. This is Yod He Vav He. We say Adonai. This is the sacred name, okay? Adonai. Excuse me. This is said, and he said, and Adonai said, Vayomer Adonai, and Hashem said. This is an Aleph with a Segol. It says and this is a Lamed, which makes the L sound. So this is L, and this means two. It can also mean four. and it's translated sometimes in other ways depending on the context. Okay, so this is to. So Hashem said to, and then this is an aleph with a patak that says ah, and this is a vet, and this shava is going to be silent. Usually the shava is silent in the middle of a word. In the beginning of the word, usually the shava is sounded, but in the middle of a word, the shava is silent. So this is going to be one syllable right here, av, av. Okay, and then this is a resh with oh my goodness, I forgot the name of this verb. Kamatz, there we go. Kamatz, this is the kamatz. This says ah also in modern biblical Hebrew pronunciation, and this is a mem sofit. Okay, so this is Avram. Okay, I'm sorry, this part is Ram. This is Av, and this is Ram, and this is of course Abram, which is Avraham's name before it was changed, okay, before Hashem added the hey in it, okay. So, okay, next. Okay, now, something I didn't say yet, which I want to say right now, is that these trope marks right here, usually whatever you don't recognize as a vowel is a trope mark, okay, cantillation mark. And these they serve as punctuation, and they also give you the tune, depending on what nusach, what custom is being used to chant the Torah. But they serve as punctuation, and so these right here, these are also accent marks. So here, what I pronounce this as vayomer, not vayomer or vayomer. It's vayomer because this mapach, this trope mark is called a mapach. This mapach is under the yud, so the accent is going to be here, vayomer. Okay, and this is a pashta, and it's always at the end, and this is gonna mean that the accent for this word is at the end, Adonai. Okay, but sometimes with a pashta, there's two of them. There's one at the end and one elsewhere, and that means the accent mark is elsewhere. But the pashta will always be at the end also. That might not make sense right now, but if we come across that in this passage, I'll talk about it again. And this is a katon, and a katon is a hard separator. So here, after this word, not only is this the accent, so it's Avram. It's not Avram, it's Avram, because the katon is right above this syllable right here, this last syllable, okay? And because this is a separator, you could put a comma or a semicolon or a period, depending on the sentence, right? Here, the translator put a comma, which, I do the same thing, but sometimes this could indicate a good place even for a period or something else, like, as I said, a semicolon or maybe even a colon. Okay, so Vayomer Adonai el Avram. So Hashem said to Avram, Abram. And this is a lamed with a segol and a chaf sofit. So this is a l sound. This is a sound, and this is a sound, chaf sofit. So this is lech. One second, I have to take a quick pause. Okay, so I think I'm right here, right? So we have Lech, and this is the title of our Torah portion. This is command form. So remember I was saying that the root is halacha. Well, this is the command form for that same word. So walk or go, okay? Lech, and then this is lecha. This lamed, okay, so it's not the same word. I said something incorrect earlier. This is not the same word. This looks the same, but here, this lamed right here is a prefix, and it means two. This lamed by itself means two, and this cha means you. Okay, so go to you, or this lamed could also mean for. Okay, so you can say for you or for yourself. So lech lecha, go for yourself. And some people like to interpret this kabbalistically and say that this means go to yourself. I won't get into that, but that's also a valid interpretation of this word. So lech lecha, and we see here that this tavir, this is the trope mark, so the accent is on cha, lech lecha. So again, this is a lamed, and this is also a chaf, sofit, but it has a different vowel. So this is just silent, lech, and this is lecha. And although they're the same words, they come from different places, okay? Meaning this is an imperative form of the verb to walk, and this is two words. This is the prefix to, and this is ha, meaning you or yourself, okay? And this is a mem, and this is sere, which says so this is me, and this is an aleph with a patak, so it says a, and this is a resh. The shava is again going to be silent. And as I said before, the shava in the middle of the word is usually silent, so this is altogether one syllable, these two letters, ar, me'ar, and this is at sadi, and this is another shava. Now when there's two shavas together, side by side, typically that means that you're going to pronounce the second one, okay? That's a general rule. So se, this one is silent, and it's part of this, so this is ar, and this is se, and this is a chaf, sofit, the final chaf, with a kamatz, just like this one right here, right? And this means the same thing as well as this. So this, I told you this means you, that here it means yours, okay? This pretty much the same thing, right? You. So me right here is a prefix, and it means from right here. And this part, the artse, it's from the word aretz, which means land, or sometimes it can be translated as earth, or even country. Okay, so that this part right here, eretz, that's how you'd say it by itself, means land. Okay, so from land, yours, from your land. That's how we get from your land right here. Now, this is a trope mark, okay? This is mercha, so it's me'atzecha, the accent is on this last syllable. And we have a secondary accent mark, which is the beginning, which is this meteg right here under the mem, okay? So there's two accent marks here. This is the main one, this is the secondary one. So it's me'atzecha, from your land. And then we have a vav here, and with this dot in the middle, this says u, and this means and. It means the same thing as this vav, except it's just pronounced differently, and that's just has to do with ease of pronunciation. Okay, and then we have a mem right here, and a hirik, so this is me, so this is u, me, and this is a mem again. Now, some of you might wonder why there's this dot right here. There's also a dot here in different places. Okay, so they mean different things depending on what letter it's on, but in both this right here and this right here, it means to hold the sound a little long. Okay, so and typically the only people that do that use this that use this rule that I'm talking about right now are the Temani, the Yemenites, and also some more Middle Eastern Jewish pronunciations. Okay, not Ashkenazi, not normal modern Sephardic Hebrew. Okay, so meaning instead of this is a vav with a cholem, so it says o. So this would be mo, right? So normally you would just say umi mo, right? But if you were going to actually pay attention to this this dagesh here, you would hold this mem sound, so you would say umi mo. Okay, and same thing here. Instead of just vayo, right? If you were going to pay attention to this dot right here, you would say vayo. You would hold this y a little bit longer. So that's what these dots right here mean. Okay, mo. So this is umi mo, and this is a lamed with a patak. So it says la, umi mo la, and this is a daled. So this shava is silent, so we would pronounce this as one syllable, lad. Mi, mo, lad. Okay. And this is a tav with a shava. We're going to pronounce this one since it's the second shava. This one is silent, but this one is pronounced. This is t. T, so shava is a quick sound, t. And this is the chaf sofit with a kamat, so it says cha. This is again yours. Now this tav right here means something different from these. This dot, this dagesh. With the letter tav and with all the beged kefet letters, beged kefet meaning bet, gimel, dalid, kaf, fe, and tav, this dot is going to change the pronunciation of the letter. Okay, so with the tav, with the dagesh, it's a t sound. But in ancient Hebrew, when the tav does not have the dagesh, and I don't see one right here, but sometimes the tav doesn't have a dagesh. Let me see if I can find one. Okay, I can't find one in this Torah portion, but I'm sure you've seen that sometimes the tav does not have this dot in it. And anciently, when the tav did not have the dot in it, you would pronounce it as a th sound. Thou was actually how you'd pronounce that in ancient Hebrew. But in modern Hebrew, with or without the dagesh, you're just going to say tav. Okay, so this is t, and this is the chaf or the kamat, so this is cha. So umi molad te cha. And this means, this word has a lot going on in it. Again, this u means and, okay, it corresponds to this and right here. This mem right here, this first mem, is just like this mem right here in me'atzacha, meaning from. If you remember what I said before, this means from your land. This means and from. This first mem means from. Okay, and this is molad. Now this is related to the verb which means to give birth or to begat. Okay, so this is birthplace. So we translate this as birthplace, and this cha part right here means your. Okay. Oh, it's this your right here, from your birthplace. This one right here. Okay. So this one right here, this is another vav with a dot in the middle, which says u, and this is another mem with a chirik, which says me, and this means the same as this, and from. And this vav means and this mem right here means from. Okay, and this is a bet with a tzere, and this says and this is a so this together is be, and this yod is just going to be part of that sound be, and this is a tav. Oh, here we go. Here's a tav that doesn't have a dagesh in it. So this is a tav, so we would say beit, but in biblical Hebrew or ancient Hebrew, this would be a thal sound. So this would be beith, but we're not gonna use that for most of this lesson. It's just gonna be regular biblical Hebrew. So this is beit. Umi beit. So beit, you might recognize that. This means house. Beit. Okay. So and from house. Okay. So and from the house. And then this is aleph with a kamat, which says ah. This is a vet with a hidik, which says v. And this yud is going to be part of that. So this is v. This is a chaf sofit with a kamat. So this says cha. Okay. Now, this aleph and vet together, av means father. Okay. And then this cha part means your. Okay. So this is avicha. This is your father's. Okay, your father's. And then this is umi beit. Remember, it says umi beit avicha. Avicha, actually. This is from the house of your fathers. Now, I didn't talk about this. Remember, this is a trope mark right here, and this is another one. So umi beit, that's the accent mark, beit. And here the accent is on v, avicha. Okay, avicha. So, okay, next. And this etnachta, this particular trope mark is a separator. Okay, so we would definitely put another comma right here, which they did right here. Okay, and this is L, just like this L right here, so I won't go through that, which means two here, also just like it did here, two, and this is a hey with a kamatz, which says ha, ha, and this means the, and this is an aleph with a kamatz, which says and this is a resh with a sagol, which says so re, and it's sadi sofit, which says ts or tz, okay, so retz. Haaretz. And haaretz, this word aretz, or you would say eretz actually, if it didn't have the ha here, is the same as this, the aleph resh sadi here. They mean the same thing. Eretz means country, land, sometimes earth. Okay, haaretz, and ha means the, so this is the land. Haaretz, and this is an aleph. With a chatef patach, so this is like a quick sound. This is a, and then we have a shin with a sagol, which says and this is a resh. This is sher, a sher, a sher. And a sher means that which or who, okay? That which or who. And again, this is the trope mark, so the accent is on sher, a sher, not asher, but a sher. And then this is an aleph with a patach, which says and then a resh, and this shiva is going to be silent, and we're going to say this together. So this is going to be ar, and this is an aleph with a sagol, which says and this is a kaf with a kamatz, which says ka. And this is, if you remember, I was telling you that here, this without the vav, this would be a future tense or imperfect verb, because the conjugation is this yud. And that perfect tense or future tense verbs, the conjugation is in the beginning. I know this is a lot, but if you just keep doing these lessons and you keep immersing yourself in Hebrew, don't worry, it'll start sinking in, okay? So I'm trying to do this class to cater to different levels, so that's why, I'm used to homeschooling, so I usually have to do that to keep everyone interested. So bear with me. So this right here, and I told you that this yud right here, means he, right, in this verb. Now this aleph right here means I. So this verb is I, and then this the resh and aleph, this is the root for to see or to show. Okay, so here it's show, or they're related because when someone shows you something, they're causing you to see something, right? So I show, and the ka here means you, and this is the same as here. Let's see, this chaf is also meant you or your, right? There's all these hafs sofits with kamatz. They all mean you or your, right? Here, here, and here. Now this has a dagesh, but it doesn't change the meaning. It only changes the pronunciation. So this means you, so that I will show you. Okay. All right. Great job, guys. If you're still with me, you're doing awesome. Let's go to the next verse. Okay, now I'm not going to go through every letter. I only usually do that for the first verse. Now I'm just going to pronounce the word and give you the definition. Okay, so the first verse we did the letters, the vowels, the trope marks. This one I'm not going to do as much. So the next two verses are going to go faster. Okay. Okay. So this is ve e es cha. Ve e es cha. Okay. Ve e es cha means and I will make you. Okay. And I will make you. So this is vav is the and this es, this is related to the word Ose, which means, so if you know the song Ose Shalom Bimramav, Ose Shalom Bimramav, right? That song, that means he will make peace, or he will establish peace, right? So this is the same, make, and I will make. And this aleph right here means I, right? I will make. And this is a chaf sofit with a kamatz. And that means, again, from just like the other verse, you, right? So, and I will make you. And then this is a lamed, which means to or for, or it can be translated also as, okay? So, and this is goy, okay? This means nation, okay? So I will make you to nation, or I will make you into a nation, or to be a nation. I'll make you to be a nation. I'm just trying to give a kind of like a literal interpretation of this word. Okay, goy just means nation, right? And it usually implies a nation other than Israel, but sometimes even Israel is called goy kadosh, a holy nation. Okay, so goy just means nation. This is gadol. So this means great or big. So here it's translated as great. Okay, gadol. And this is va ava recha. Okay, va ava recha. So we have 3 accent marks here. We have this one, and this one. And so we want to make sure we do not accent these other ones. So, and I think most people would pronounce this as va-ava-re-che-cha, but that's not correct. You should not pronounce the shava. It's va-ava-re-cha. Okay. Okay. So this is and, right? This aleph again at the beginning of the verb. If you're following along, you might be able to guess that this means I. Okay. I will. Future tense, first person, okay, and this is related to the word baruch or baruchu, like as in baruchu et Adonai Mavorach, or baruch Hashem, so it means bless, right? And the ha again means you, so and I will bless you. And then this is va agad, and we are going to pronounce this. Usually the shava is not pronounced, but because of this dagesh, we're going to pronounce it. Okay, so va-aga-de, and this is la. Va-aga-de-la. And this means, this is related to the word gadol right here. You can see the similarities. They both have gimel, daled, and lamed. Gimel, daled, lamed. So this means great, or big, or grand, right? So here it's translated as aggrandize. So which means I will make great, right? So, and I will make great. Okay. Va-agadela, I will make great, and I will make great. And this is she. Now in the beginning, the shava is going to be pronounced. So this is shemeh. Shemecha. So this shem is name, and cha again is your, right? Just like this ha and this ha means your. So shmecha, actually, because this trope mark gives the accent mark. Shmecha, your name. Okay, so and I will make your name great, or I will aggrandize your name. And then this right here is ve ye. Okay, ve ye. And this means, and you shall be, okay, and you shall be. And this is this verb right here is related to Hashem's name, right? Yud He Vav He. It has it's the same. It's to be, right? Because Hashem's name speaks of His eternal existence, His eternal nature. And this is beracha. And this is just like this right here. It shares the same root. Beracha, just like va-avarecha. As I said before, this means the same as Baruch in Baruch Hashem, or Baruchu, or Baruch Atah Adonai. right? So this means blessing, beracha. This is noun, the noun form, and you can see it's feminine, okay, because of the hey. The hey in this noun right here indicates that this is a feminine word. A blessing is a feminine thing in Hebrew. Okay, and this is the last verse. This is okay, so I'm not going to do the letters or the vowels. I only did that for the first verse. I'm just going to do, again, I'm just going to read it and translate it. So this is va a varecha. Va avarecha. Now here, I told you before that the shava is usually not pronounced in the middle of a word, but another rule is that after, if it follows a kamatz, right, like it does right here, you do pronounce it, okay? This is va avarecha, and this means, and I will bless, and I will bless. The vav means and. This aleph in the beginning of the verb conjugates it so that it is first person, I. And the fact that it's this verb is conjugated in the beginning is a hint that this is future tense, okay? So I will bless, okay? So here the vav is not reversive. So va avarecha, and I will bless. And this is the accent mark right here, the trope mark. So this is the accent is on ha, va avarecha. These are these metegs right here, these vertical lines are secondary accent marks. Okay, and this is me va ra che cha. Me va ra che cha. Now again, we're going to okay, sorry. Now this mem right here, I said before in the other verses, it means from. Okay, it's literally this is from, and this is, if you recognize this again, this means blessed. These three letters, the vet, resh, and chaf. Okay, just like there it is here. Okay, and this ha again means you or your. Okay, so putting that together, this is like from blessers of you. Okay, that's a very literal translation. So, and I will bless from the blessers of you. That's a literal translation, but of course we're going to translate it in better English. I'll bless those who bless you. Okay, so this would be those who bless you. Okay, and this is u, but since this is this shava is in the middle, we're going to sound it together as one syllable. Okay, and this is ka lel cha. Kalel cha. Kalel cha. And this is the one that means and the one who curses you. Okay, so this vav is and this mem is, literally from, and this is curse, these three right here, these three letters, and this cha means you. So, and from those who curse you, literally, and this is a or, and that means I will curse. So this is actually using two different verbs for curse. So, okay. And again, this aleph right here in the beginning means I, okay? I will curse. Aor. Okay, and then next is venivrechu. And this is the part which means and shall be blessed. And there's also an implied they, and they shall be blessed. This u right here is actually they, and they shall be blessed. And we have the root to bless here, the vet, resh, and chaf, just like Baruch Hashem or Baruchu. Okay, and it's also here and here. Okay, and they shall be blessed. Okay, that's what that means. And this is vecha. This vet right here is a prefix which means in, or it can also mean with, or at. Okay, so in, and this cha again means you, right? So in you, and they shall be blessed in you. So who is they? Well, in biblical Hebrew, the subject often goes later instead of in English, where it's usually in the beginning. So here's the subject. Kol, which means all or every or each, and this is mish pechot, and this is families, literally families of. Okay, mishpechot, kol mishpechot. This is families, and this is ha a da ma. Ha'adama means the ground. This is where we get the name Adam from, because Adam came from the ground. But it can also be translated as earth. Okay, ha'adama, the earth. So, and they shall all be blessed in you, vecha. V'nivrechu, and they shall be blessed, vecha, in you, kol, all, mishpechot, the families of ha'adama, the earth or the ground or the soil. You can even translate that as soil. All right. Now we're going to learn the trope, okay? And I'm just going to you have to learn the cantillation marks to do trope, which you can learn if you go to my website. Where's my website? I have a picture of it earlier. There we go. If you go to my website and you click on trope cantillation, I have a video list that teaches you all the cantillation marks and what their names are and what sound they make. Okay, and that's what this chart is. But for now, I'll just do a quick just do a quick review. Okay, so this is mapach, and it says mapach. So this would be troped. This is a very common nusach, a very standard melody for troping the Torah. And it's the same one that they use on, if you get the app called Pocket Torah and Pocket Torah Trope, you can get that on iPhone. And there's also a website called learntrope.com. What I do is very similar to those two. There's always a little bit of a variation, but it's very similar to that. It's an Ashkenazi trope, very common, very standard, especially in America. So this is Vayomer Mapach, and this is Pashta, this mark right here. So this, we would say this as Adonai, and this is Katon, so this is El Avram, and this is Tevir. So these two together would be said Lech Lecha, and this is Mercha, which says Mercha. So this is Me'atzecha, and this is Tipcha. So this is Umi Molatecha, and this is Munach, and this is Etnachta. So this is Umi Beit Avicha, and this is Tipcha, which says El Haaretz, and this is Mercha. So this is Asher, and this is Sof Pasuk, which says Sof Pasuk, and Sof Pasuk means end of verse. Okay, so together, I'll trope the whole thing together. This says Vayomer Adonai El Avram Lech Lecha Me'atzecha Umimoladtecha Umibeit Avicha El Haaretz Asher Arecha. All right. And I won't do that for all three verses, but it's just a review for the trope for anyone who's learning. Okay. Now, I just want to share some last thoughts on the Parsha. And I think I'll do that with a new Facebook Live video. So I'm going to stop this now. Okay, so I finished the Hebrew class already, but I just wanted to share a few thoughts on the Parsha for Lech Lecha. And they come from the Midrash, different Midrashim actually. So this one is from the Zohar, and it says, when he, referring to Abraham, saw the sun rise in the east, Abraham thought, surely this is a great power. It must be the Creator. Sorry. Let me do that over again. Okay. So this is from the Zohar. It says, when he, Abraham, saw the sun rise in the east, Abraham thought, surely this is a great power. It must be the Creator. That whole day he prayed to the sun. In the evening, however, the sun set and the moon rose. Abraham said, surely this one rules, even the sun, for it is no longer shining. So he prayed to the moon all night. But the next morning he saw the sun rise and darkness pass. He said, surely all these have a higher king and master who directs them in their courses. Then God saw Abraham seeking for him. So he appeared to Abraham and spoke with him. Again, that's from the Zohar 186a. And this passage right here I thought was very beautiful. And it reminded me of the verse from the prophets, Jeremiah 29:13, that says, and ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart. So Abraham was searching after God, using his logic, his reason, his deduction. But Hashem saw this, and because of his faith, he reached out and spoke to Abraham. Here's another one from Genesis Rabbah. And it says, Terah, which is Abraham's father, Terah was an idol maker. On one occasion, he was embarking on a journey. So he left young Abraham to mind the idol shop in his absence. When a customer came to purchase an idol, Abraham asked him, how old are you? The customer would answer that he was 50 or 60 years old. Woe to this man, Abraham would cry. He is 60 years old, yet he wants to prostrate himself before an idol only 1 day old? The customer would leave in shame. Once a woman entered the shop carrying a bowl of flour as a gift to the gods. Take the flour and offer it before the idols for me, she told Abraham. He took a stick and smashed all the idols except the biggest one. Then he placed the stick in the hand of the biggest one. When his father returned, he asked, who smashed the idols? Abraham replied, why should I try to conceal the truth from you? A woman entered the shop with a bowl of flour and told me to offer it to the idols. I placed it before them. One said, I will eat it first. Another said, I will eat it first. The biggest one took a stick and smashed the others. Why are you lying to me? Terah demanded. Do idols have intelligence? Abraham replied. Let your ears hear what your mouth is saying. So he's basically telling his father, if you know yourself that idols are dumb and they can't think or talk, then why are we doing this? Why are we selling idols? Why do we believe in this? And I think this speaks of many people who have come out of different pagan practices and have basically defeated the old idols in their past lives or from their past. Abraham is a hero, kind of a hero in that regard, a forerunner in that. And here's another one, which is very interesting. This is from Louis Ginsburg's Legends of the Jews. So the reference is right here if you want to look for it. It says, in the night of Abraham's birth, the astrologers and the wise men of Nimrod came to the house of Terah and ate and drank and rejoiced with him that night. When they left the house, they lifted up their eyes toward heaven to look at the stars, and they saw, and behold, one great star came from the east and ran athwart the heavens and swallowed up the 4 stars at the 4 corners. They all were astonished at the sight, but they understood this matter and knew its import. They said to one another, this only betokens that the child that hath been born unto Terah this night will grow up and be fruitful, and he will multiply and possess all the earth, he and his children forever, and he and his seed will slay great kings and inherit their lands. And they went to the king and told him the sight they had seen, and their interpretation thereof, and they added the advice that he pay the value of the child to Terah and slay the babe. Well, so that reminds me of the story of the children of Israel in Egypt, and how Pharaoh was scared that they were becoming great, or they were already great, and he wanted to kill all the children, or at least all the baby boys. Now, this next one reminded me of Psalm chapter 118, verse 22, where it says, "The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone." Okay, that shouldn't actually be a capital H. It's just a little. Sorry, I typed that out. I didn't. Just a mistake. Okay, so this next one is based on this next midrash reminded me of Psalm chapter 118, verse 22, which says, "The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone." There's a parable. This is from Yalkut Shmoni. It says, "Once there was a king who sought to build a palace. He began to dig, going further down to lay a foundation, but he found only swampy soil. And so it was in many places. He was not able to build until he dug in one place, and there he found bedrock. Thus he said, 'I am building and placing foundations here,' and he built. So too the Holy One, blessed be he, sought to create the world. He was sitting and scrutinizing the generation of Enosh and the generation of the flood, and he said, 'Why should I create the world and let those wicked men arise and vex me?' But when the Holy One, blessed be he, saw Abraham arise in the future, he said, 'Behold, I have found a rock to build upon and to lay the foundation of the world.' Thus he called Abraham Rock, as it says in Isaiah 51, 1-2, 'Look to the rock from which you were hewn.'" So there's many interpretations of Psalm 118, verse 22. One of them, I think it was Rashi, said that it was based on David, who was rejected when at first, when Saul came to choose a king. His father said, "Oh no, you don't want him. He's just, basically a little rat." So he was rejected at first, but then he became the king of Israel. Another interpretation, of course, is that the rock is Israel, and the nations, and it's true even today, the nations reject Israel. However, we know from the Tanakh, we know from the Bible that Israel will be that Israel is the apple of Hashem's eyes, and that it will be a very important place in the world to come, in the Messianic era, in the times to come in the future. But this one, I thought it was interesting because it connected Abraham, as the rock that builders rejected, and he has become the chief cornerstone in the sense that Abraham is the father of all three monotheistic religions, right? So Judaism, Christianity, Islam, it was because of Abraham that the whole world has any knowledge of Hashem and his Torah at all. Okay, and so that concludes the class. There's another video with my with the actual Hebrew lesson, if you didn't catch that. So Shavua Tov, and have a good Shabbat Shalom, and see you next time.
I'd like to invite you to visit my website at www.hebrewmime.com. That's HEBREWMAYIM.com. And you can click on the button to sign up for free Hebrew lessons, to your email, delivered every week or so. Sometimes I miss a week. Sometimes I'll send more than one email for that week. So again, just visit my website, HebrewMime.com. And I also have special sections here. Not only can you sign up for free Hebrew lessons to your email, but you can also get my playlist to learn the Aleph Bet, even Aleph Bet with Elmo. And I also have a section on learning various Jewish prayers and blessings. I also have you can see all of the Hebrew lessons from Genesis to Deuteronomy. And what else? Oh, I have a section on ancient Hebrew. Learn how to pronounce the Hebrew letters in the ancient Hebrew pronunciation, the ancient Hebrew tongue. I have some lessons on how to trope or chant the Torah, specifically lessons for that. And and then I also have links to if you're interested in getting more formal biblical Hebrew lessons or modern Hebrew lessons from a good friend in Israel. So you can check that out as well. So just visit my website at hebrewmime.com. Shalom.
Would you like to become the healer of your home and your community and create a profitable online health coaching business? Are you interested in becoming a health coach, a naturopath, an herbalist, or a nutritionist? Do you need help finding the right program for studying holistic health and healing? Or perhaps you already have certification, but you're still not confident enough in healing people and don't know how to build a business that will empower you to have an impact and allow you to leave your regular day job. Are you ready to get a deep and comprehensive picture of holistic health and healing and learn from top healers in our day so that you can stop being stuck in a job or a career you don't have a passion for? Heal yourself and others without the need for pharmaceutical drugs with harmful side effects, doctors, or even dentists. Become more knowledgeable about holistic health and healing than most medical doctors who have graduated from medical school without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of time in expensive medical schools or programs. Build a health coaching business that will allow you to work from home and achieve time, location, and financial freedom. Aruka.com empowers people to become the healers of their home and their community by equipping them with naturopathic herbalism, health coaching, and online business and marketing skills. My name is Maim. I'm 42 years old and a homeschool mom of 7 beautiful children. These 2 in the photo are my October babies. I became a naturopathic herbalist and health coach in order to take charge of my family's health when the modern medical system kept failing us. We were spending thousands of dollars on insurance and other medical expenses, but they did not have any answers for our health problems. Working from home has been such a blessing for us. I used to work at the NASA Ames Research Center as a computer scientist/engineer. But being able to have an online business has enabled me to surpass my income at NASA and to be there for my family, homeschool them, take care of them, watch them grow up every step of the way for 18 years now. I started Aruka.com in 2009 to help people become healthy and heal themselves. I've coached all sorts of people, and eventually even medical doctors and nurses started coming to me repeatedly for help for various health issues for themselves or their loved ones. I help people heal themselves of serious diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and high blood pressure, diabetes, as well as other common issues such as hormone imbalances, abnormal bleeding, migraines, eczema, kidney stones, gallstones, cataracts, and even urinary tract infection. Various people began asking me to start teaching what I know about holistic health and healing, including 2 medical doctors who have become very good friends of mine. When I realized that there was such a demand for the knowledge I have that even medical doctors were telling me to teach, I shifted the focus of Aruka.com, and now we teach people how to become confident healers through our naturopathic herbalist and health coach certification program. We help people become healers of their home and community and create profitable online health coaching businesses. If you're interested in becoming a holistic healer, please visit our website, aruka.com, ARUKAH.com. Again, that's ARUKAH.com. Hope to see you there.